My name is James Davis, and I'm a landscape architect here at Bernardo Wills Architects. Most of the work that we do is outside. At least the projects are located outdoors, and we have, like I said, it's a broad range, so it could range from parks or campuses, trail systems, backyards. A lot of the landscape architects in the United States actually, I think, focus mostly on residential work. And so there's a really broad range of things you can do, but most of our work is outside. The occasional interior courtyard, may come into play sometimes, but outside mostly. So here at Bernardo Wills, we do mostly commercial municipalities, university projects. We don't typically do residential here unless it's some sort of client that we've served in the past and it's a kind of a personal request. So a landscape architect requires a bachelor's degree at a minimum, and that typically takes 4 years. Different universities will approach that slightly different, whether it's a bachelor's of science or bachelor's of arts, but 4 years is typically the standard, and you can move on to get your master's as well. Different companies, will offer different kind of levels of movement within that company. It depends on where you're at. Construction company is going to look different than a design firm specifically. And so you have a lot of opportunities as a landscape architect to move up and down depending on where you are. So you could start at a draftsman and work your way up to a designer. Maybe you become the licensed landscape architect, an associate principal, a principal, an owner. There's a really broad range of places that you can go with this degree, and it just depends on how much effort you want to put in and how much you want to get out of it. So some of the skills I think a landscape architect has or is required to have would be good communication skills. We are constantly communicating with clients or colleagues within the office, and we need to be able to represent those ideas, both written in email or verbally over the phone, graphically on a drawing or a presentation. And so communication is a huge thing that landscape architects do. Computer skills are another thing. Most of the skills that we do use on a day-to-day basis will be taught in a university program. But just basic kind of typing and maneuverability around a software program, all those things are really important. And just in terms of your efficiency, when you're working, you need to be able to be as fast as possible, but also do a really good job. And the better you are at computers, it helps you out in the long run. I think organizational skills are another one. Being able to manage deadlines and keep track of the minor deadlines in between a big deadline. Deadlines don't change, and so you have to be able to adjust your schedule to make sure that those are met. And so managing a calendar is a great skill, and learning how to delegate time to others or your own kind of delegation to yourself. I think some of the most rewarding things about being a landscape architect are, the big one for me is at the end of a project when you see you've gone through all this work on paper and you then see at the very end, this environment that you've created, and it's living and it's breathing and it's organic, it will change over time too. That's the most exciting thing, is on day one, a landscape architect's work is not the best. An architect's work on day one is the best it'll ever be, and it'll continue to slowly deteriorate over time. A landscape architect is the opposite. Day one, it's great, but year 5 or year 10 is really when you see the full vision of what you had in store come to life. And animals move in, or trees grow and understory plants, establish. It's organic. It moves over time, and I think that's it's really exciting about this career, is that you have the option, or you have the opportunity to create something that is bigger than yourself.